We are talking with Steve from collegefootballwinning.com and Doug Upstone from impactwageриngsolutions.com, previewing Week 10 in college football here on the SBRtv College Football Experts Roundtable. Now let's just get to the Marquee Matchups Rundown that we do every week, where we talk about the lines from the marquee matchups on the card every Saturday. Let's start with Oklahoma at home, minus 13.5 over Texas A&M. Now, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State are both teams that have been huge favorites, even over good teams, and here we have them again. Texas A&M, very quality team. Oklahoma, a 2-touchdown home favorite. What do you think, Steve?
Given the way that Texas A&M has played in the second half of football games, do you really want to have your bet on Texas A&M going into that second half? Oklahoma's bringing the number 2 passing offense. Texas A&M will bring dead last 120th passing defense. I have to like Oklahoma here by just laying just less than 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, they had their blip against Texas Tech, but then they resumed their absolute dominance on the road against Kansas State. Doug, what do you think of this line?
The Texas A&M, I don't think, has a prayer in this game. They might be competitive for the first half like they are in every single game, but once their pass rush disappears because their players get tired, that's the end of the game. And against Oklahoma, that's suicide. Oklahoma, 21, 25, you name it.
All right, there you go. Then let's talk about, let's summarize once again, LSU, Alabama. We talked about it in depth, and summarize what you had to say, Steve.
There's just a slight lean because these two teams are so evenly matched, but I looked at special teams, and I looked to the number, and if it's something Alabama has to lay more than 3, which they do right now as we're taping this, my slight lean with special teams and with that number where it is to LSU.
And Doug, you like Alabama slightly. Why?
Yeah, I like them because of their defensive line and their offensive line, because I believe they can control the game over the 60 minutes, and I'll have the Crimson Tide to roll.
All right. Well, I flipped a coin just on our segment a few minutes ago, and the coin said Alabama, so that's my pick. Then we have South Carolina at Arkansas. Arkansas is 7-1 on the year straight up, but only 4-4 against the spread. They've been winning but not covering lately. South Carolina is good, but on the other hand, this line is very short. Arkansas minus 4.5 at the moment. Steve, what do you make of this line?
Okay, I had been fading Arkansas the last couple of weeks, as you know, and we talked about it each week here. That had been very successful, but part of what I had been saying was, or part of my rationale for that was because Arkansas was on the road, and they are terrible against the spread on the road. They are back home. Enough people have put in their sell on Arkansas. The time to buy back Arkansas is now. So my conclusion is take Arkansas and lay something less than 6 points.
All right, Doug, do you agree with that?
I do, entirely. Now, South Carolina is 2-7 straight up and against the spread in hog heaven. And Arkansas's Bobby Petrino finally gets 60 minutes of play from his Razorbacks this week. The favorite is 13-4 in this particular series, and the Razorbacks will win and cover against the Gamecocks.
All right. And then finally, we have Oklahoma State at home minus 20.5 over Kansas State, a ranked team, but Kansas State got rolled by Oklahoma last week. Are they going to get rolled again by Oklahoma State? 20.5 points. Steve, what do you think?
This is a great stay-away game for me. I would avoid this game for sure. Kansas State is wounded but still incredibly well coached. The buy on Oklahoma State could not be any higher in terms of public and popular opinion. So Oklahoma State is such a prohibitive favorite right now. You'd have to lay 3 touchdowns with Oklahoma State. Just stay away from this game altogether.
Right. Okay. And then Doug Upstone, what do you think of this line?
Well, I think, Bill Snyder is a brilliant coach, and he maximizes Kansas State's abilities across the board by playing with a high football IQ. The only problem is the Kansas State basketball team has more blue chippers than the football team. So in this particular case, Kansas State will get 450 yards or more of offense. They'll lose by 24 points, and Oklahoma State covers the spread yet again.
All right, that's our Week 10 college football preview here on the SBRtv College Football Experts Roundtable. Thanks so much once again to Steve from collegefootballwinning.com and Doug Upstone from impactwageриngsolutions.com. Thanks, guys.